Welcome to What She Really Thinks, where honesty lives and sugarcoating doesn't. I'm your host, G, and here we get real about life, love, God, and everything in between. No filters, no pretending, just truth, healing, humor, and a little bit of that Holy Spirit. So pull up a seat, grab your drink, and let's get into what she really thinks. So, have you ever just had that moment like where you knew better, but you did it anyway? Yeah, I'm talking about like you knew it was a dumb decision, but you was just like, forget it, But today we're gonna be talking about all of that and everything else in between. And here today I have my sister. Introduce yourself.
I mean, the name speaks for itself. I'm Carolyn, and make sure to shop the brand G Amore. We have a store in North. Well, not we, but we have a store in North Little Rock. Make sure to check that out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You're not gonna want to miss this.
So, in other words, that's my little sister Carolyn. And today we just gonna be talking about everything that we kind of then went through, been through, got over, and we knew it was kind of done from the jump. But again, we did it anyway. So let's go ahead, get into this. But first, let's cheers to this deep conversation and just hoping that y'all like what we have to say.
I'm doing it like we really got a shot. This is water, by the way.
So
We both have water.
She just did my business because yeah. But so I wanted you to like just tell me, has it ever really been a time where you feel like, nah, I don't need to do this, but F it, we ball?
I would say yes. I didn't really contemplate, but I consistently was drinking and driving.
Well, I'm gonna say this because I feel like I'm a good driver when I be drinking and driving. I'm not encouraging that to nobody. I promise you. Do not drink and drive. Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. And viewers' discretion is advised.
No, for real. Do not drink and drive. But me personally, I be feeling like I'm real focused. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get home. Now, when I make it home, that's another story. Like I'm just going, but I'm gonna get where I need to go. Okay, so you said for you it was drinking and driving. Did you have like a bad experience with it, or what didn't happen?
So I had a wreck, and I lied to my family about it. But I was drinking and driving.
Which we probably already knew. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, they had already assumed it without me even telling them, and I tried to deny it too, but no, I did. And if you ever notice, I don't go out on Halloween anymore because I had a wreck. I've had a couple of experiences with Halloween, so I don't go out anymore. Period during Halloween time. But yeah, I had a wreck, and I totaled my vehicle.
So we're gonna include these pictures of this vehicle because she did send it to me for the first time, y'all. This was my first time ever seeing the car. But when I seen the pictures, I was like, dang, I know her body was hurting. Like, did you walk away with a scar? What did you walk away from in that incident? Because you also sent me a picture of you smiling in the bed. So I needed you to explain that to me. Like, was you celebrating? Like, what was going on?
Another viewer's discretion is advised. This is my story. This is my experience. And although this is a serious topic, I'm healed for everything that I've been through. And so me joking about it now is just my way of releasing my healing in a sense. It's not that I don't know how to explain that, but I'm gonna just leave it there. But from that wreck, I walked away with I had like a scar or something, like my eye was trying to like swell, one of my eyes, just one of them. And then the most serious thing that I had was I had ringing. My ears were ringing really bad, but I thought I was losing my hearing because like things sounded weird and muffled. And so I thought I was losing my hearing.
So did you harm anybody else, or was it like just you?
So no, I didn't harm anybody else. I was in a wreck by myself. Another thing.
Not by yourself with the stop sign, because yeah.
I hit the stop sign. I had to pay for the stop sign. The city fined me $800 for a stop sign, y'all.
So don't drink and drive, and for sure don't hit no stop sign.
Don't hit that stop sign.
To pay $800, but okay.
And another thing I would like to add in here, when you go out, and drink and drive, go out with people that are opposite of you. So someone that balances you out, because that night, love her to death. But I went out with a friend. Um, I feel like she was more sober than me, and so she should have had drove, but she didn't. And I won't get into all the details, but I don't feel like, because I mean the wreck could have been worse. It could have been, I could have been, it just could have been worse than what it is. So I'm glad to be here alive today. But yeah, it happened. But I don't technically think that it was all on me in a sense.
But to me, sometimes when you're drinking and someone tries to intervene, it usually does not go as easily as planned because you drinking, the other person may be drinking, and let's say they're not drinking, but in your mind, you're okay. So you're like, I'm good. I can drive because again, I've been there with you a couple of times where you like, leave me alone, give me my keys. Like, girl, don't piss me off. So it's like, do you feel like now, because let's also tell the viewers that you do not have that drinking problem anymore. I'm so proud of my sister.
I do not have that
So
drinking problem anymore.
that's why we're drinking our water. But
Water.
any other time I probably have some wine, Tito's, something in there. But I'm all for support. But she no longer have that drinking problem. But I feel like when you were that person, I just feel like it wasn't as easy as one, two, three of, oh no, don't drive. It's like I'm good. I can do it.
Let me correct that. What I meant when I said that is, so I am going to drop this person's name. So when I go out and I drink with Courtney, um, Courtney's the designated driver. She may have a drink or two, but Courtney's always going to make sure we both are safe. We both to get there and back home safe. I've never had an issue. I've never had any type of issues drinking with Courtney. I feel like there's other friends or individuals that you have, we go out, we can still have a good time, but it's just kind of like, and again, I can take accountability for myself. I don't know what happened that night. I can't really remember. Maybe I was in a sense being, like, oh, I know I'm good, I can drive. But what I meant in that sense was, I felt like it could have been prevented. One, if she could have drove, but again, I don't remember what happened. Or two, what she did to initially cause the wreck is what I'm saying. So like, I didn't cause a wreck on my own.
Got it.
It was the person that I was with. We both played a part in the wreck.
Right. So yeah, so it's like I said, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
You just had so grateful that everything turned out the way that it did. And do you feel like that is what made you go on your road to recovery? Like, okay, this is too much. Like, let me step back, or did more things keep having to happen for you to finally make the decision?
No, absolutely not. I kept drinking, having me a ball. Okay. No, I've been through a lot of instances where I felt like I should have stopped drinking, but I didn't. I actually had an incident where I was drinking. I don't know if you remember. I was drinking, and you came and told me I looked like Wanda. Me and
I ain't gonna lie, don't remember.
But I had an incident, and I ended up hurting my foot. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And my dad came and paid me a visit. Somebody gave him my address. We're not gonna say who.
Let them tell it I'm the family snitch. But I just be trying to make stuff in order, because like we got to get this together. What is going on?
But yeah, my dad came and paid me a surprise visit, and he was just kind of basically telling me like it's just too much. So I stopped drinking then. When I stopped drinking them, I stopped for like a long time. I can't remember how many months, but I did stop drinking for that period. I think that's the only time like I had really just stopped drinking. But I did stop drinking, but then I relapsed, and then again had a ball. And then October of 2024, I want to say, my father had his grand opening. He had opened a club up in Arkansas. I went down there. I had drinks with friends and Janae, and I took a nap. I woke up. I went to the event, my dad's event, and I drank there. But I thought I was good because honestly, I had took a nap. I thought the liquor had worn off, but I had some shots there. I didn't have many, but I did have some shots. I got re-drunk all over again. Went to sleep. Woke up the next day. I could not swallow. I could swallow, but when I swallowed, it was burning going down. So I was like, let me drink something cold. I went and drank something cold. It was burning. I'm like, how can it burn if this is cold? And so I feel like that was my last straw from God, that like literally I don't know what else I can do to show you that you need to stop drinking, but I literally rode 5 hours in silence because I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I didn't eat or drink nothing for like 2 to 3 days.
And then later down the road, we ended up finding out that Mama said this like crazy prayer that like it was like take the taste out your mouth.
Yeah.
So and we're big believers over here. That's something that I stand firm on. And sometimes it's just like you don't know what other people are praying for you, but it also goes into like you know God knows when enough is enough, and when He tells you like when He gives us that free will, but I feel like when He goes ahead and say, "Hey, enough is enough. You're going down destruction." He's going to stop us any way he can. And so for you to say that even if something cold was going down and it still was burning, that lets you know right there that there was something spiritual already within, because it can't nothing cold burn you.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that you went down the road, you recovered, and like I said, how long have you been sober to the point where you know your limits now and you actually don't even really drink at all? Like you can go out and you don't drink. You said you started in like October of 2024.
So October 2024, I never picked up another drink. And it wasn't something that like, oh, like I had to have withdrawals. No, I was still going to liquor stores. I was still making liquor store runs. I was still around everybody around me that drinks. I just cold turkeyed it. I didn't have a problem with it. I just felt like it was nothing but God, because it's like I've been drinking since I was a child. How can all of a sudden like I don't have the taste for liquor, I don't crave liquor, I don't nothing. Liquor is like liquor didn't exist anymore. And then September, literally the devil, 1 month before my 1 year anniversary, I went out with a friend and I had some drinks and I realized that um, I still don't know my limit. And so I never picked up another drink since September of 2025.
So you're still growing,
and I also want to add in for everybody that is going through the same thing or something similar that I'm going through. Relapse is a part of the process. Like, don't feel bad that you went back to something that you were previously doing. It's all about learning yourself, learning your body, figuring out what's best for you. I also feel as if God would give me, since He gave me a sign to stop drinking, I feel like He would be the one to tell me, okay, you can drink again.
Right. So, but for now, there's no drinking.
No, I don't drink.
So, well, so we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to switch from drinking until, have you ever got like those signs of this man is no good, but I still want to try him anyway? Like, like I've been there, done that. You knew from the jump, like, no, but you like, yeah. Have you ever been in that type of situation?
Yeah, I have actually.
We're not saying no names.
No names. I'm not giving nobody no clout.
No, none of that. Like we agreed that we're not giving no names, just out of protection and just out of, you don't always want to include everybody, but if you know,
you know.
You know. So what was like the red flag that you was like, nah, he ain't for me?
I don't really know if there was a red flag. I was just so young. I was literally 19. I had just had a baby. I was 19. I was in my prime. I got that baby out of
stuff. Popping your big stuff, huh?
I had just had a baby, 9 months. Baby, I feel like I was free. So I was just out having fun. He was a fine. Well, at least I thought at the time. But yeah, I don't know what his red flag was, honestly. It should have been that he had a woman that stayed in the apartment.
Yeah,
and
because
a girl.
let's rewind, because you moved in with me, and then next thing I know is I come home one day from working a long shift. You a very long shift.
Mind you, she worked night shift, y'all. Perfect. If you know, you know.
I'm working a long shift, and I'm like, what? So yeah, so let's back up. The red flag was that he was in a relationship. Not only was he in a relationship,
He had
but
a side girl too in the same apartment complex.
yeah, like it was like a cult. Like they was all right. We stayed in the same apartment building. Like there were 4 apartments, and they stayed in one of those 4. Like it was crazy. But
that should have been red flag number 1.
Yeah, and that was crazy. So as the relationship progressed, because how long did y'all actually date or talk or whatever you want to call it? Like,
so I met him when I was 19. I stayed in my very first apartment. He moved in with me in my very first apartment. Then I moved from there to the other apartment, from there to the other apartment. We was together for a little while.
For a long time. So my thing is, what was it that it was like? I don't. What was it? It was like, okay, it's time to go.
I don't honestly. This is another God thing. Like I don't feel like I would have ever got out of that situation had the situation that he was in had happened.
So he went to jail, basically.
Yeah.
And
let's talk about that. And before I get into that, please know I am healed. Okay? None of this will ever fly. But okay, boom, I'm at work. Hardworking woman. I get a text and it was like I got a text and the text said so and so in jail. I'm like, what? Like how? I was confused because I'm like, how is so and so in jail? But you texted me off so and so phone. So they was just like, he gave me his phone. He told me to text you. I have your car. I'm at your house. So then I had to ask the girl at work to take me home, and the girl was in my apartment, just sitting there on my couch.
So not only did he have your car, like as you just said, you had to have somebody to take you home. He had your car. Didn't have a job.
You messy.
Didn't have a job, and now he got another. We're gonna call her female, but he got a whole nother female in your place,
in my house,
and you was just at work.
Yes.
I know you.
Hey, y'all, I had to pray before I walked into my house.
It took more than some prayer. It would have took more than some prayer.
I had to think about my child, my job. Like I had to contemplate everything because my initial thoughts was I was going to go to jail that day.
Baby, cheese, like, cause what? Yeah, but okay. So him going to jail was like, okay, yeah, it cut it out. But what about when you like disappeared? Because remind y'all, like it's just us in Texas, so we work hand in hand with almost everything. So at that time, I picked up the kids. No, she took the kids to school. I picked them up in the afternoon, and then she would come get them from my house, and and that's when we did like our drop off. So mornings, afternoons. So she disappeared for like a week and a half. Like he's come, and remind you, I don't like him. He knows I don't like him. He knows not to even knock on my door. So the very first day that he knocked on my door, I'm like, "Where's my sister?" He's like, "Oh, she in the car. She not feeling good." I'm like, "Oh, okay, and okay, let me see." So I see in a little head. I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay, my niece could go with you." So you disappeared for about a week and a half. What was going on at that time?
So August 2017. I don't even know what happened. Honestly, I don't really care what happened. I don't even care to go down memory lane of what happened. All I know is that he ended up physically assaulting me, and I had a black eye, and so he basically isolated me from the only person that I had in Texas, which was my sister. Um, yeah, like he was like I couldn't go to the door. He just isolated me, and I didn't ended up telling my sister until like I was able to text her one night or whatever, and I just let her know like the reason you ain't able to see me is because he's keeping me away from you because my eye is black.
And soon as I got that message, I called the person, mom that I was dating at that time. I called her and was like, "Look, I'm on my way to my sister's house." And at that time, I didn't have no, I didn't carry no guns, no nothing. But I don't care. Like one thing about me, I'm gonna fight. And I called her and was like, "If you don't hear from me in 10 minutes, and I mean exactly 10 minutes, I'm like, start the timer now." you don't hear from me, then call the police because some stuff is going down. So I remember pulling up to the apartments and remind you, I think you stayed in like Brentwood or something like that, like
Yeah,
right,
I
like
stayed in
the
Brentwood.
hood. So I'm pulling up, already don't even like this environment. So I'm like not even thinking. And it's like I get out the car, I go up the stairs and I knock on the door and he comes to the door and I tell him like, don't play with me. So then he's like, what you want? And I'm like, come on, let's go. I'm telling my sister, like, come on, let's go. And she's like standing there. And so at that moment, I don't know if you even remember, like, do you know what you were thinking at that moment? Because you stood there for a minute. I remember like it was yesterday, like you stood there for a minute and I'm like, I'm saying, come on. Like, he's not finna touch you. He ain't finna touch me. Like, do you remember what was going through your mind? Or is it all kind of like a blur?
I think honestly, it's all a blur. I don't know if that moment I didn't know if what he was gonna do to me or you at that moment. So I think it was more of me trying to protect you, so like you wouldn't be in this situation. Like I would rather it happen to me.
Yeah, that one going. I don't go. Like, if you don't know now, you know. I do not go. And we got walked out to the apartment without a scratch on us because it's like I will.
Y'all, my sister was a savage that day. Like I've never seen her like. Well,
uh,
I mean, I see her like that, but like that day, she was very sick, dead serious, and it was just like I don't know. I just had a lot going on. Like it was just a lot going on, but she was dead serious, and she was not playing with him.
at all. Like, let's go. And then when I'm my phone ringing, and because remind you, I'm telling this person call me in 10 minutes because if not, the police need to come. And my phone ringing, I'm like, give me a second, give me 2 more minutes because I'm walking to my car because I don't know what he finna try to do, what he ain't finna try to do. And it was just like, yeah, at that moment, I don't play about my family. And then on top of that, you when I seen what had happened, and I remind you, I'm a send the we're gonna include the pictures in this.
Viewers discretion
Yes,
is advised.
but just brace yourselves. But it was like, you did that to my sister. Oh, you is a bleep 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 bleep. Because what? Don't no real man put his hands on a woman. We can disagree all day. You know, you're gonna have your disagreements in relationship, but you're not gonna walk away with that type of physical appearance and from no real man. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no car. You ain't got nothing. The only thing he probably had was some good in between, but I don't even know if it was that good. I don't know. But it was just like I just couldn't believe. So and my now that we laugh and we talk about it because it is definitely something serious, but we laugh and we talk about it. It was like you may not have made it through.
Yeah,
That was some real like, what if you didn't get your vision back?
yeah.
What if you permanently had that mark? Like, to me, it's like we see the red flags and we ignore them because I've been there, done that. I'm not perfect. I didn't seen some red flags, and I didn't still said, let me try. And it's like you're gonna walk away with some type of physical damage that you're gonna have to heal from. So to me, how did you start your healing process with that?
I think my healing process started once he was like completely removed out of my life.
Remind y'all, we had to buy him a bus ticket to get the out. Like, at this point, the snitch called the family again, and we had to, like, but it's still like, because even then, y'all still were like
It was like
communicating.
I was, I had, again, I met him when I was 19. So so much had gone on between that time frame, whatever the time frame was that we were dealing with each other. So many incidents. I remember one time, you don't know about this one, but he had me locked in the apartment. I'm banging on the because I was on the third floor, so I was banging on the my floor because I know the downstairs people would have should have came up and been like, "Can y'all stop?" or something. I was trying to get their attention. They never came. They never said nothing. Never did nothing. But he had me hostage in there. I mean, like pinned down. It's just so much. But I was so young, and I think he knew that. Well, clearly he knew I was young, but it was just the fact that I feel like I was young. I was naive. Um, I don't really know. It's just like once you're in that situation, it's just like who if he say ain't nobody else gonna love me, then why would I leave him? He the only person that loves me, type of thing. It was just like I was just young.
Yeah. Crazy. And at that time you were drinking also, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you drinking was a factor into that, and then again it was
And don't
just
get it twisted. Some of those times we had physical altercations, I did fight back.
because we do fight.
Hello.
Yeah.
I think I broke a tooth. I think I tried to pick a tooth.
And we're not encouraging the
We're
fighting.
not.
Let,
I'm not
I
encouraging.
don't encourage that putting your hands on each other.
Yeah.
I don't encourage it, but I will protect myself. So that's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna let anybody bully me, and I'm definitely for sure gonna not let you little girl me, because baby, what big mama?
Exactly. And the crazy thing about it is, I was so young. Like, I could have had so much fun had I not spent all those years with him. Like, I feel like most of my young years were with him. And then I got out of that to go into a relationship to traumatize somebody else, because I had took everything that we did and what he did to me and put it on somebody else, because I'm not gonna say I jumped, but I got with somebody else, and I feel like at that point, all I knew, my defense mechanism was to protect myself, by physical. So now I have this man that's never put his hands on a woman, and now he has to protect himself because I'm hitting him, and I felt so bad. I still feel bad to this day, because he expressed like, I've never put my hands on anybody, but I was the aggressor in the situation because that's all I knew.
Right. So you basically took what you were going through in one situation and put it on somebody else and traumatize that other person. So hopefully now that you've healed and you can break that chain of steady bringing it down to different relationships. Now, do you feel like you're in a better place where if you date, you know how to communicate without putting your hands on somebody?
Yeah, I definitely am a communicator now. I think I overly communicate. Ooh, sorry. I think I overly communicate now. And I love that for me, because at one point I was using physical to communicate, and that was not good at all. So I don't feel bad for myself for overly communicating like what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, because I feel like that's way better than physical altercations.
So we got a few questions that we're gonna ask before we wrap it up, and
I feel
this
like I skipped over one of your questions. I be out, y'all.
is
I'm a yapper. Tell me.
so it's like, do you feel like your drinking and your bad relationships, is it like an escape or a habit, or is it something that, like, what is it to you? Is it a stress, an escape, an habit? What is your drinking and the red flags of men that you ignore? What is that to you?
I feel like it's I would say it's all of them combined in a sense. I wouldn't say it's one specific thing. I think it was a lot of factors that played into me drinking heavily. Um, because at one point when I used to get drunk, I used to cry.
A
Uh,
lot.
so I think it was like a lot of factors. And by the way, my counselor said that I'm not an alcoholic. That I can't remember what she told me, but she said I wasn't an alcoholic. She was
We gonna
like
need
that I
that
was.
counselor information
She was
because
like I was drinking. I can't remember
you
the
for
term she
sure was
used.
that now what you was drinking for. Cool, but
I'm
you
not
was
an
definitely
alcoholic.
an alcoholic.
She said I was.
Yeah. We gonna have to talk to the counselor, y'all, because yeah,
But yeah, I think it was a mixture of all of that.
like I think we already kind of touched on it. What did it cost you? We know you said it cost you most of your younger years. Do you feel like you're drink? Well, we know it cost you a car. You're
A
drinking
multiple.
multiple. Because when I say how many cars have you think you've had? Like just quick thought. How many cars have you? And we're not saying all of them were wrecked
No,
because of
but because of
drinking.
my drinking and driving, I've only messed up one car drinking and driving, which was you'll see the picture in the clip. But that's the only car that I wrecked drinking and driving. But I've had multiple cars. I
So,
probably had. I'm in the double digits for
oh,
sure.
we for sure. Like,
For
and we ain't
sure.
talking about finger double digits.
No, not more than fingers, and probably maybe myself.
Yeah.
I've
So
had a lot of cars.
so do you what so you it cost you your car, it cost you your younger years.
Let me say this too. all them cars is in my name.
Except one. I did give her my
Oh
paid
yeah,
off
yeah,
Honda,
yeah. She gave me a car.
and that was with that no good of a man. And next thing I know, it came back trapped out, thugged out, cracked out. Like, why is my window cracked? Like, what is going? Y'all. When I say I didn't like him from the jump, I mean from the jump. Don't get me wrong, nice looking guy. But when I seen him, I said, hell no, no. But live, learn. I'm pretty sure she might then seen a couple of mine that said no, but yeah, mm-mm, no. So we got the cars, we got the years. Do you feel like it caused any of your like your mental state? Do it? Because to me, that's a lot on the mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I done been there, done that. There's been some stuff that I needed to heal from. I remember one time this man that I knew I shouldn't even have been dealing with. Like, we broke up and I didn't leave my house for about 2 weeks. And I remind you, I have a son. So I was like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to snap myself. I was literally, when I say didn't leave my house, I would take him to school, I would go to work, and I would come home and I would just stay. I wouldn't do nothing else for like 2 weeks. That was it. Like, and it's like it caused almost you almost be about to go crazy because it's like you know better and you still took that chance and now it's like you got to deal with the consequences. So it's just like, to me it almost cost your mind.
Yeah, it did. It definitely my mental, I would say emotional, um, physical. So yeah, it cost me all of those things. I went through a lot with that man, honestly, and I feel like that played a big part moving forward in my life. And just now today, at 30 years old, am I now taking control of my life? Um, and I feel great.
So basically we didn't talked about drinking, we didn't talked about men, we didn't talked about just knowing better all the way around, and just looking out for those signs. Sometimes it don't take all of that
Yeah.
to get to where you need to be. Like sometimes we can actually from the beginning just listen to our gut.
Yeah.
Because our gut is like literally something God gave us. Like that's our way of communicating with him. And when we get that gut feeling of this ain't it, if we would just listen to it from the beginning, we could save
So
ourselves so
so
much
much.
heartbreak, tears, like just a lot of just pain and suffering that he God never intended us to even go through. So, basically, I just want to let everybody, because I did write up a little message, just sometimes we don't need the signs. We don't need the to go through something. We just need to listen to ourselves at the very beginning and just say, no, I'm a pass. I ain't going down that
And
roller coaster.
sometimes I want to touch a point. Like sometimes the red flags don't even have to be something so serious. Like I said just now at 30, I'm taking like I'm choosing me more. Back then, prior to 30, I wasn't choosing me, but at 30, I'm deciding and I am choosing me. So I have been meeting men, and what one of the men, I went to my sisters and I was like, this man told me that he does so and so,
Mm-hmm.
and they was like, that ain't right. And I was like,
At all. We ain't even gonna put
no.
them out there because I don't even want to start that debate. But it was like red flag, blue flag, yellow flag, orange flag, all the flags in one. It was like, no, sorry.
Yeah, and so like I was like, no, y'all, like I don't see nothing wrong with it. Then when I thought about it, I'm like, something's not right. So I literally just I cut it off right then and there because it's just like I no longer have time to waste.
Right.
I'm not wasting no more time. Time is ticking.
But tell,
Okay.
tell me about it. Like we just did a whole year, like, and it felt like in 2 minutes. Like it's
Yeah.
just we're not at that time or that age where you got too many more mistakes. Like like too many major mistakes. Everybody gonna make a mistake. We're gonna wake up and we're gonna make a mistake and we're gonna keep going. You live, you learn. But those major ones that we can kind of just like we don't even got to alter your route as much. Sometimes you be on this route and you go and you make a decision and it deterred you off years because for what? Like for some fun, for this guy, drinking a good time. Because even when you drink and you have a good time, it only lasts for a little bit. You wake up with a hangover, you wake up with a bad stomach. It'd be like, what did I do that for? So it's just like, I think now we're in an age where you choose better, choose to ignore that I'm gonna do this anyway. Let's do the right thing this time. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're running out of time. So I'm just hoping that y'all enjoy, like us being real and talking about it. And this episode was more about being in her business than it was about being in mine, just because this was a place for her to her final stamp on I'm healed. Like, let other people, you never know what your story can do for someone else. So it was like, tell your story, because you went through all of this. It's time for you to celebrate the new you, and it's also time to help other people. I'm all about helping other. If you inbox me, I'm telling you the good and the bad that come with owning a business. I'm telling you the good and the bad. If y'all see my relationship stuff, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. I never come off where I'm completely perfect or everything I've been through been completely easy, because it has not. And I think if more people was to tell their story, a lot more people will have something they can say, I can relate to that. You might have had a boyfriend that blacked your eye. You might have had a problem where you was drinking and driving and you'd have wrecked your car. Lord forbid that you have, but that could easily, as it was her, it could have been you. So we're just hoping that you walk away with something that, you could go and tell your cousin, tell your auntie, tell your sister, tell your mama, your daddy, whoever you want to tell, like, look at this and see what they're talking about. And, just to me, it's just like, just live, learn. And again, this is a judgment free zone. Like, let's I know we live in this judgmental world, but like I told my sister, I want you to get on here and share what you're comfortable with sharing, because the world can be evil. So that's why I wanted her to tell her story that she was comfortable with. Don't overshare anything that you're not comfortable being judged on. But it's just like, be comfortable, be you. Yeah, we're not saying be perfect. Ain't nobody perfect, and ain't nobody gonna be perfect. And I stand on that. But is there anything else? She ain't on social media, barely. She on Facebook. Tell them your Facebook
I'm on
name.
Facebook. You can follow me at Carolyn Ray.
Spell
I
the
got
Ray.
R as in red.
Carolyn.
Okay. R-A-E. And it's me. That's my baby daddy.
Y'all, I'm hoping y'all enjoyed this segment. I'm hoping y'all took something. You can learn from something. You can go and share with somebody else. But always remember, I said what I said. And that's all with.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget, shop the brand.
Yeah. Is it stand up? Let them see the back. Because we got the G and more and we got the MOP. Yeah. Don't make sure, if you ain't supporting, you're hating. I don't care. And this is what she really thinks. And we're